We all find ourselves infatuated sometimes with mysterious creatures and their origin stories. Just a tour around the internet will make any skeptic think twice before turning down a theory about a mythical creature. Today we present to you the top 8 real mermaid sightings as told by either eyewitnesses or captured on picture and film. Get ready for a dive down deep. Number 1, 1967, British Columbia, Canada. It was a bright and sunny evening close to the west entrance to Active Pass when many passengers on a ferry spotted something truly peculiar, which was reported the next day on the Daily Colonist. It read, "Several witnesses said the mermaid had a large fish, apparently coho salmon, and one swore she had taken a bite out of it," the Colonist said on June 13, 1967. Long, silver blonde hair and topless condition were all agreed upon. Even more interestingly, there's a photo of the said creature still available to see today. The passengers all agreed on one thing: the mermaid was a girl and she had cute blonde hair and dimples. Second, 1943 in the Key Islands. We all know about the stories of mermaids and sailors, but what about mermaids and World War II soldiers? Japanese soldiers specifically, that were stationed in a 555 square mile area in the Key Islands in Indonesia. The local villagers said that they were familiar with the creatures and called them rang ikan, which means manfish. Although one would believe it was the need of a woman that made the soldiers see the mermaids, if you hear their descriptions of the things you'll understand this is not the case. Limbs and face somewhat similar to a human, but a mouth like a carp, and filled with needle-like teeth around 1.5 centimeters tall, with pink-colored skin and spikes on their heads, 2 long arms and 2 prominent frog-like legs. Definitely far away from the image of Ariel the mermaid. Number 3 is 2012 in Zimbabwe. An ancient ritual performed to drive away an evil spirit in 2012? Sounds far-fetched, but this was exactly what happened a couple of years ago in Zimbabwe. Some workers were trying to install a water pump, but something was blocking the pump. Local divers and workers went to see what was the problem, but when they surfaced, they promised never to return. Then the village chiefs performed an ancient ritual to get rid of the mermaid, but the workers still did not want to return. Finally, the government hired outside help, believing the whole thing was cultural. But even then, the new workers reported the same thing and quit on the spot. 1998. Kailua Kona. A diver named Liker claimed he was the first one to ever document proof mermaids exist, and it happened in 1998 in Hawaii. He said that he and 6 other divers that were with him spotted a group of dolphins swimming and jumping around, and amongst them was a nude woman that seemed to keep up with the pace of the dolphins. At some point she jumped, and Liker was shocked to discover her bottom half was that of a fish. And if you don't want to believe the eyewitnesses, then there's photographic proof, as Liker was lucky enough to capture a picture of the mermaid about an hour later when they spotted her. The photos have been examined by experts who say they are authentic. Number 5, 2009 in Israel. This mermaid seemed to be very interested in people, as many locals have claimed to see her off the shore at sunset performing water tricks. Although it sounds like a hoax right off the bat, the many eyewitnesses swear she's real and she resembles a young girl. The Israeli government finally decided to join in on the fun and issued a $1 million reward for anyone that could provide proof of this mermaid. For the time being, nobody's been able to claim the prize, although NBC placed a film crew at Kiryat Yam Beach both below and above the water with hopes to capture the mermaid. The crew claimed that late one night they spotted a human figure dipping into the water and then disappearing, and although the footage they have is authentic, it's still not enough proof. Number 6, 1614 in the West Indies. Because it was so long ago, there's no way we can actually know for sure whether this is true or not, but it's definitely worth the mention. John Smith, known for the rescue of Pocahontas, was also the one to spot a mermaid. In his words, the creature was swimming with all possible grace near the shore. The upper part of her body resembled that of a woman. She had large eyes, rather too round, a finely shaped nose a little too short, well-formed ears rather too long, and her green hair imparted to her an original character by no means unattractive. But from below the waist, the woman gave way to the fish. Although there's a problem with the timeline, since John Smith was in the West Indies in 1607 and not 1614, a lot of people still believe this was a genuine account of John Smith seeing a mermaid. Number 7, 1608, Norway. This is the oldest record we have of a mermaid sighting. In 1608, Henry Hudson was searching for a northwest passage, and he reported on the following in his log. This morning, one of our company, looking overboard, saw a mermaid, and calling up some of the company to see her, one more came up, and by that time she was close to the ship's side looking earnestly upon the men. A little after, a sea came up and overturned her. From the navel upward, her back and breasts were like a woman, her body as big as one of us, her skin very white with long black hair hanging down her back. When the mermaid finally went down under the waves, her tail was observed, which was like that of a porpoise and speckled like a mackerel. Around 1611, his crew mutinied and sent Henry, his teenage son, and 6 of his loyal crew adrift in a small open boat. They were never seen again. Number 8, 1830, Scotland. A group of people were cutting seaweed at Gerna Dukta Grimnis Benbacula. One of the women went to the lower end of the reef to wash her feet and heard a splash in the calm sea, and it made her wonder what could have caused it. She saw a creature there in the form of a miniature woman, but when she called the rest of the group over to see her, the creature made somersaults and turned and went in various directions. Some of the boys started to throw stones at her. One struck her in the back. A few days after the event, the same creature was found dead in Quil Nunton, 2 miles away from the previous spot. The body was buried in the presence of many people near the place they found her, and those people gave a graphic description of the mermaid for years to come. So what do you think of these 8 top mermaid sightings? Is there anyone amongst them that struck you as more possible than the others? Well, write to us in the comments section which one you like the best. And until next time, keep safe.